Hi guys, welcome back to Modifix. My name's Dan and today we are fixing. Okay, so today we are dealing with the rear lights. As you might be able to see, there's a bit of condensation in this one and we have a lot of condensation in that one. And as a result, what's happening at the moment is when I have the indicator on and I brake, the reverse lights come on. And the annoying thing is that I get the beeper to go with it. Alright, first things first, I'm going to pop the lights out. All I've got to do is those two 10mm, push it that way and out. But I've got this bugger in the way. Luckily, when I modified the car, I did put butterfly nuts on the back of this, or wing nuts. So I'm going to remove those wing nuts and hopefully this should just come off quite easily. Alright, well that escalated very quickly. Basically I'd put butterfly nuts on those three there, but not on these end ones. Duh! And they're actually a massive pain in the bum to get to as well. Oh well, bumper's off now. Alright guys, so the lights are out. And as you can probably see there's some evidence that there's been water inside there. If you shake it, actually a few drops came out. So we're going to have a look at how we can possibly remedy that. To do that, I'm going to go inside now. Alright, first things first, I'm going to take all these bulb holders out and check the health of those just to make sure nothing's shorting. And I've just marked this loom R for right because I'm not sure if they're interchangeable, and I'd rather put the same ones back in where they came out from. Alright, all of the bulbs look okay, apart from that one looks a little bit black, but the filaments and stuff look absolutely fine, and all the connections inside are okay. There's no corrosion, so that's good. I think they're T20 W21W bulbs, the single filament. The double filament, I'm not sure. Alright guys, after much messing about, I have got the lights apart. Be mindful that there's actually a screw there as well. I missed that one. I got the top one, but I did miss that one. So make sure you do get that screw. And then what you have to do is sort of what I did. You will end up snapping some of these because they are acrylic and they will snap. So that one's okay. That one's okay, but the end one has snapped it. You have to be very, very careful with them. But yeah, you have to sort of squeeze them out. And then what I did was I wedged this in there whilst they were out, because otherwise you get to this side and they pop back in and it's a right old fiddle. So I've managed to get that apart now. As someone suggested, this is two skins, so I'm going to take these two screws out now, take that off and clean it up, and then I will decide on how I'm going to seal this back up again. I am thinking at the moment, look at the crud in there, disgusting, but I'm going to clean all this up, and I'm thinking I'm going to use draft excluder, but give me 2 minutes and I'll decide. And then there were three, so obviously this is the second layer, and that's where the condensation builds up. You can see that there, and here you've got some moisture here as well. So I'm going to dry all that out. I'm just going to give it a good old wipe with a microfiber cloth, and then I'll start reassembly. I do want to do something really funky with these lights in the future, but for today I just want to stop them from shorting out. That would be a good start. I think when the summer hits and I've got some more time and nicer days, I will do something different with these halos. No, I don't know yet. We'll decide. This is the seal that lives in this crevice. So it goes from there all the way around here. So this is the offending article. I think it's not obviously sealing the light nicely, and it's no wonder it's very thin. So let's see if we can do one better. I'm going to take that all the way out now. Bye. Okay, so I've been holding back, guys. This is what's going to go in that channel. This is a butyl tape, And thanks to one of the members on the Facebook group, actually, he recommended this stuff. 3M's the go-to seller for this, but this is a lot cheaper than 3M, and it provides a 12-year guarantee for an airtight seal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to clean in this channel, yeah, and then I'm going to stick that butyl tape in there, and then stick the lens back on. Put it all back together, stick the lens back on. So let me just clean that channel and put the butyl tape in there and see how it goes. Right, this channel, light here is terrible, 1 second. Right, this channel is now clean. I did use a damp microfiber cloth to do this, so I need to let it dry out a little bit. Might clean this area a little bit more. And look at the crap that's come out of it. I mean, look at that. Moss and disgustingness. Alright, I was just cleaning this edge up here, and I noticed that there's a seal down the bottom of the light. I'm not sure what the purpose of this seal is. It's just stuck onto the lens, and I don't think it really does much, but I'll leave it on there for now. I've cleaned up, looks like it needs a little bit more, but I'll clean up a little bit more. I've cleaned the condensation out of here. I've cleaned the condensation on these as well. I'll just give them a final polish, and then that can go back in here. It's just 2 screws that slides in and stays there like that. I'm just going to put that back together, and then butyl tape on and squish it in. Alright, the channel is now lovely and clean. I used a bit of window cleaner. Window cleaner is actually really good stuff to clean stuff like this, get rid of any grease and grime. And then what I've done is I've taken the old seal. If you look at the thickness difference, I'm a bit worried about whether the lens is actually going to close up nice, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. What I'm doing is I'm going to measure the length of what I need using the old seal, and it stops about there, so I'll cut it there and bang it in the hole. Right, that's all clean and screwed back together. Just be very careful when you tighten these not to over tighten them, otherwise you will hear a crack, and that'll be a lens, so don't do that. Alright, so as I was saying about the thickness, it's not that much of an issue because this is actually quite pliable. It's like plasticine almost, so you can roll it and make it thinner for the parts where you think it might need to be thinner. But so far in this gap, I'm just going to have it full thickness because that is a big gap. And I wouldn't be actually surprised if the water's getting in from there somewhere. That is the underneath, I appreciate that, but yeah, anyway, let's get on. Alright guys, and that's a nice bead of the butyl tape laid all the way around. So it's time to put the lens back on. Just wanted to quickly mention this stuff, I actually was left with that amount even though I measured it to their exact size. And what you can do is you can just pull it a little bit to stretch it as you go around, so quite useful that. Alright guys, and with that we are done. So let me just show you, I'm showing it from the wrong side. But what I had to do was put it down this way and then really put some weight on it in order for it all to snap back together. But it has come together nicely. Let me just show you. So that's that edge, and then here you go. So you can see where it's seeped out in some places, but you can really feel the stuff squash down, and it has sealed beautifully. So I will let you know how I get on over the next few weeks. I am going to put the screws back in there now and make sure the bulb holders are nicely firmly sealed. Clean all the rubbers, do all that stuff, make sure the mating surfaces are nice, maybe even put some rubber lube around them, and then we should have a nice watertight area. I'm just going to do the other one now and then back in the car. Almost had myself in a pickle there because I hadn't marked where any of these go, but I sort of knew that that one's the indicator, and then I worked my way around from there, and I think they only fit one way. And then as a second point of reference, I actually checked the other light and it was fine. But anyway, so this grease that I'm using is a silicone grease, especially for rubbers. And what I'm doing is just squeezing some out of there, like that, mush it out on my finger, and then get this baby over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this one-handed. Try and hold it up. Do not get grease on the bulbs because you will blow them. Anyway, let me see if I can balance that somewhere. And then just basically run your finger around the rubber. I'm not going to be able to do it one-handed as I guessed. And that, my friends, is one nice shiny lubed up rubber ready to go back in the hole. Right, so everything's back in its hole now, all lubed up, all sealed up. And I think we are good to rock and roll. The only thing is that I do want to take these apart again one day, and I think that may prove a challenge with this butyl stuff. This stuff here is very tacky and very sticky. I mean, even just touching it on the surface here, do you see how much it tacked already? So embedding something in that, God help you getting it out. I might have to actually heat them up to get them apart again. Or I might sell them to one of you lovely lot and buy another set and split them and then do this again. Alright guys, and with that, the second light is done and it's all sealed. There were a few bits where it was cracked and I just put a bit of extra sealer around those. So that is sealed as it's ever going to be. Thing to note is make sure that if you do this, you're not in a hurry to take your lights apart again anytime soon, because it grips like anything. Basically, I made a bit of a boo-boo, and this lug here, when I pushed it together, it actually came on the outside rather than going in there and clipping in. So I had to try and prise it apart again. And trust me, it was no easy task. That one I broke, but it is well and truly stuck, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I think it's going to be bloody good for years to come now. So another thing to note is make sure you've got a bloody good trim removal kit. I've got this one here that could be had cheap off eBay for about 25 quid, I think they are. Can't remember. If you're really interested, send me a DM or something and I'll send you a link to it. But great bit of kit this, nice and firm. Trust me, I don't think a screwdriver is going to do it. You're going to ruin your lights with a screwdriver. So just make sure you've got some good prizing tools about. Oh, and another thing, make sure the missus is out when you do this, because if you're doing it in the kitchen and you get caught, all the crap that comes out of there, you'll be in trouble. And with that guys, the lights are back on the car, condensationless, amazing. Alright guys, it's been 2 weeks since I sealed up these lights, and as you can see, not a sign of moisture. The car's been driven probably twice, and the same with this one too. Look, absolutely zero moisture. I'm well happy with that. I will keep you posted over time if the moisture creeps back in, but I think we're good. Alright guys, and that's a wrap on this video. Hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you seal up your lights and they stay condensationless forever. Sorry about if it was a little bit rushed and etc, but the weather's horrendous at the moment. You get 5 minutes of dry weather and then it's pissing down with rain. So I just have to quickly hurry up and do these things so I can do other stuff, because right now, after this, I'm going to go and paint my intercooler black and maybe change the bumper as well. But that's for another video or whatever. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more juicy content as usual. Bye for now.